Hello and welcome to Out of England. These are chats that we do on NDTV, often talking about issues that really matter to the Asian community here in the UK. And here I am with four very glamorous women. I don't know what I'm doing in the frame, but that's one of the privileges of this job. The question that I want to ask all of you is that here we are gathered at Trafalgar Square. Just look at the sort of crowd behind us. Lots of cultures, lots of people celebrating their Muslim identity. I want to talk to you, before we get to a bit about kind of the fashion aspect, because I know all of you are fashionistas, no prizes for guessing, looking at your outfits and your get-up. But tell me, being, a Muslim woman in 2014 in the UK, what does it really mean to you?
Well, it means, we're all very liberal. We're all, professional women. We all work, whether that's creating shows or whether it's designing, whether it's modeling. We've got two very successful models with us. We've got Mariam Najmi, who's a very talented designer, who has a very strong clientele list in UK as well as in Pakistan. So it's been a pleasure working with all of them and bringing it together for Eid in the Square event today, where for the first time we have put a fashion show together.
Okay. Being a Muslim fashion designer, a woman Muslim fashion designer, tell me, is that an easy job?
I don't think it's any different from being any other fashion designer. I think women today generally are so, everybody's professional, they're liberated, they're educated. Yeah. I don't think there's a Muslim, non-Muslim, but yes, some prefer to cover a little more, some prefer to show more skin, so I think it's more of a personal choice. Yeah. So no, everybody...
Are your designs generally, do you show more or do you show less?
It depends on the crowd. So I'm showing some of the scarves today with the headscarf because people like matching hijabs, full sleeves. Yeah. Some people like to show a lot of skin, so it depends on the show. So I cater to both.
You cater to both. Okay. Tell me, reflect for me a bit about, you're one of the models, showcasing these designs. Tell me, whenever you say, Muslim, woman and fashion in the same sentence, it conjures up a lot of stereotypes. You usually imagine women with hijabs kind of walking around. Tell me a bit about, for audiences who have these stereotypes, what would you say to them? Are they out of date, these stereotypes, or are they very much relevant but things are changing slowly? What would you say?
Well, things are changing a lot. Because we're having Muslim hijab shows, where they're wearing hijabs and abayas, and it's fashion. Yeah. So yeah, it is changing.
It is changing. Yeah. Well, what about you? What is your perspective in terms of
I agree. It is changing. Today we had a lot of Islamic influenced clothing, but we had designers from the Emirates, we had designers from Pakistan, we had designers from India. Yeah. So the common theme is fashion, and everyone is influenced by, obviously today was a bit more modest clothing, but even then you don't have to, we can still show fashion and promote fashion even within those guidelines.
Okay. Tell me your perspective in terms of South Asian designs and South Asian clothes. What's that one thing you find different from the other shows that you do? You're showcasing bridal clothes, isn't it?
Yes, I've been showcasing a lot, but I think with Asian clothes, there's a lot of attention to detail, which I really, really love. Yeah. And it's a bit more heavier than what I usually wear, but it's okay because we learn how to walk in these things, but it's just amazing.
So do you do a workout before you come for this sort of a fashion show?
I wish. Maybe one day.
Okay.
I have to do a workout because I have to steam them, iron them, and it's a task and a half.
Day in the life of a fashion designer, that too a South Asian one. And tell me a bit about, I want to talk to you about this particular aspect. This is bridal season, and in terms of your own fashion, what kind of, especially for the community here, what do they look for in the sort of fashion that they choose?
I think now, because everything is so global, a lot of people know what's happening in Pakistan. So if they're Pakistanis, they want the ghararas, the lehengas, the cholis. So first, I think UK was lagging behind in fashion about a good 10-15 years. Yeah. But now I think they've come up to speed with what's happening, the new trends.
One thing that still in kind of Islamic fashion, if I can put it that way, if there was such a thing, that it lacks, that you're really kind of irritated about, that you really feel that anything at all, maybe it's perception as it is seen by English people in the West, or anything at all?
Well, it is that, because a lot of people kind of bore us into one stereotype. Yeah. 80% of Muslims do not do not wear hijab. Yeah. So I think that's a very personal choice. Because I don't wear hijab, but my cousin does. Yeah. My best friend does, and her sister doesn't. Yeah. So,
Tell me a bit about this. Mariam, are you making the hijab cool?
You know, I was going to say that I think hijab is cool. I think some people who do hijab look better than me or anybody else who does not do hijab. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how covered you are. It's how you carry the outfit, how you put it together and own it. I think really, so less clothes, more clothes is really not a differentiating factor.
When you say you're a Pakistani fashion designer, do they conjure up kind of these stereotypes that, you know, oh, you come from Pakistan, so that must mean X, Y, and Z?
I think the minute you tell them you're from Pakistan, I think people are getting really excited because Pakistan fashion has really taken the world by a storm. Like the designers are doing excellent design, they're doing Western and Eastern. So I think it's very well received. People are actually quite excited because the cuts are different. I mean, the way India does saris and cholis, no Pakistani designer can match up to it. And the way we do shalwar kameez and angarkhas, nobody can match up. So I think it's a really different set of clothes.
Now you're starting a whole new chapter, right? India versus Pakistan. Tell me, India versus Pakistan. In terms of fashion, who are you going to vote for?
Okay, saris India, shalwar kameez Pakistan.
So
Hands
diplomatic.
down.
So ever the
All my
diplomatic.
saris are from Indian designers and all my shalwar kameez are from Pakistan. That's hands down.
Fantastic. Now here we are in London, and oftentimes a question is asked that which city is the best if you're from the Indian community, and there's usually a row between people from Leicester and London, because, you know, lots of people say that London is a big global city. Leicester people say that, you know, no, you know, Leicester is the place to be. So we thought we'll bring this conversation to you. We have a family from Leicester, and we have you from London and your daughters who are all proud Londoners. Tell me, London or Leicester?
Leicester.
Leicester.
Why?
The lifestyle is better.
Sure, I'll talk to you, ma'am.
Yeah, Leicester is lovely and is a peaceful place. London is very hard. I think so Leicester is the best.
Very peaceful.
Yeah.
And we are very happy over there.
Yeah.
The lifestyle standard of living, if you see the property prices, is
Much more affordable, huh?
very, very affordable.
So what will you say in London's defense?
London is one of the capital and it's a beautiful place. There's a lot of things to see in London. I know it's expensive, but you earn more money in London. While you're working in Leicester, you don't get any commission working in the city. And there's a lot of places to go and a lot of attractions. We have Trafalgar Square, we have everything going on.
So it's a global buzz to the city.
Yes.
Kids things to do in Leicester. Tell me, what was your experience growing up in Leicester? Are there kids? Is it a kid-friendly city?
Well, yes, it is basically,
You
but
don't have to say that, huh? Just because you're from Leicester.
if you think about it, London's pretty, you know, multicultural, and so is that stuff. But there's pros and cons to both. So I think I prefer both.
Yeah. So you're a fence sitter. Huh? You're like London and Leicester. Can't decide between the two.
Yeah.
So what is that one thing you feel that London lacks? That's why you moved out, or, you know, one thing that you're not happy with in London?
What was it like? I had a property in London, but when I'd been to Leicester for the first time, I have noticed few things, that life is very easy, very economical. And
Apart from the economical thing, what else will you say that London does not have? One thing.
London does not have is like opportunities, like job opportunities.
Okay, 1 second. Job opportunities less in London. Is that true?
No, I would say probably in Leicester be hard. Leicester is a small place, and I think everyone they're looking for job, and you wouldn't get a job easily. But in London is a big. You will get a job anywhere, anything you will be able to do it. I don't think it's in Leicester.
Well, what's that?
I think so Leicester as well. I moved because of more is social. Because here you
Lot
work.
of social, you're working in London all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all the time. You know, like get up in the morning, take the tube, go to work, come in the night. You're so tired. Saturday, Sunday, you need to do
And
housework.
tubes, you know, it's 1 hour traveling at least in one direction and then another.
Yeah, and
I'll take that to you. What about, defend London for us?
Well, I would say London, I work 9 to 5, 9 to 3 actually. I go and pick my kids from school. I have a weekends to spend with my kids. And every weekend I have things to do, to go out.
You have a social life.
Oh yes, see the family, to go to the temple, to go to the community, come to the city, we have a South Bank.
And what's that other thing you feel that Leicester lacks, that London has?
Leicester, I would say the houses are cheap. The life is cheap to live down there, but you wouldn't get a job easily. And you wouldn't have those intermittent you have over the weekend over here. You wouldn't have over down there. Every weekend, things going. When it's a Chinese festival, you got to go to Chinatown. You have a Chinese festival.
It's a real global city.
Yes,
I mean, it's
yes.
where Leicester is a British city.
Yes, exactly. And here is a lot of things to do. We have every weekend we have things to do. Family, my family, they're all here.
Yeah.
So
what would you say to this family about, would you advise them to move back to London?
well, but the first thing I'll say, look for the job.
Okay.
Look for the job. If you get a job in London, it's fantastic. But the property price, I know, is high.
Okay. Okay. What would your advice be to a Londoner? What would you say? Would you say move to Leicester?
Oh yeah, I would always tell all my family and friends that if you are struggling, if you have got a jobs for 10, 20 years and if you don't have a stepping ladder towards the property, you should always move out from there. Because if you don't have a property, then you don't...
It's problematic. What would you say to this Londoner about moving to...
I would say if you got a job in Leicester, you should move to Leicester because I think so. There is opportunity there as well.
Okay, okay. So we have, London versus Leicester argument here. I hope they don't start fighting with each other off camera. But
Your sister.
Your sisters. Very good, very good.